I would first like to say that I find it hilarious that Americans understand politics in terms of pharmaceuticals. I've been seeing the term red pilled for a few years right now. It came out, I don't know exactly when it came out. They say it came out of incel culture to describe people who are waking up to the horrors of feminism. We're not even going to go into that. We're not going to go into incel culture in this. It was adopted by the alt-right, the conservatives, to mean that you are waking up to the evils of liberal dogma. Now I'm seeing a lot of former liberals say that they are red-pilled and making videos about being red-pilled. So they have adopted this term, red-pilled, to mean that you're being exposed to conservative values, adopting conservative values, and waking up to what liberalism is, the charade, the farce of modern liberal politics. Point taken. Notice here how waking up, how similar is it to woke? It's a pattern that is repeating. You need to wake up to the flaws in the status quo and the flaws in the current system. So the woke up 10 years earlier. So the system repeats. Now, that having been said, I see a lot of liberals saying that they have been red-pilled. It's a little annoying. First and foremost, I understand that right now we are at a time that might be considered an emergency. If you are, in fact, awake, if you are woke, if you've been red-pilled, whatever, you see that we might be in a time of an emergency, that we are being programmed, we are being brainwashed to think a certain way, and that our norms are being washed away. It's part of brainwashing. It's how they brainwash you, is to remove your previous norms and try to replace it with their new norms. I see that people are using the term red-pilled because it's a hashtag, because people will click on it, because people are looking for the term red-pilled. And this is how our algorithm is programming us. We made artificial intelligence. We made the algorithm. We didn't. I didn't. I never would have made such a thing. But these smart people, this fringe, tiny group of people made the algorithm, and it was supposed to work for us, remember? But now we are working for the algorithm. The algorithm is now programming us to look for search terms, to file ourselves under search terms, to get into these boxes under these search terms. We made the algorithm. Now the algorithm is controlling us. So that's off the bat. I do not like the term red-pilled. I don't like a hashtag. I don't like people just getting into a box because it's a box. Just keep in mind that you are better than some stupid algorithm. You really are. You are better than some stupid AI. You are top shelf AI. You are like data, okay? You're not just some lowbrow AI algorithm, some cheap search term. No. You're the best algorithm there is. We don't know that we're not robots. This is not this video. Anyway, I just want to say that you are better than some stupid AI, so don't fall for it. The algorithm has us jumping through hoops like some stupid Russian bear, and the algorithm is its vodka drunk trainer. This is wrong. This is wrong. The AI is supposed to be the fancy bear, and we're supposed to be the vodka drunk trainer that gets mauled in the end. Ain't y'all seen any movies? It's fine. It's fine. The point to all this is that red-pilled is now a hashtag, and we don't have to define ourselves by hashtags. This is so recent. This is, I mean, it has building on tendencies of human nature, of tribalism and so forth, but the fact that we are now out and out defining ourselves by hashtags should be of concern to just about everyone, because that's now becoming the new norm. So we have red-pilled, and those are people who are waking up or have woken up to the problems of the status quo. The blue-pilled people, the people who chose to take the blue pill, are the normies. They definitely voted for Biden. They definitely voted for Hillary. They're normies. They're regular people. I guess they pay taxes. They have a job. They're definitely not into crypto. Those are blue-pilled people. Take whatever color pill you want. It doesn't matter. You're not a hashtag, okay? You're more than a hashtag. Your entire personality cannot be summed up by a hashtag. But those are the pill colors. You got your red, you got your blue, you got your black, you got your white. I'm sure there's many other pill colors as well, but this is relevant to this right now. So what really bothers me about this red pill, blue pill thing is that, yeah, the status quo is seriously messed up. And you know what? The status quo has not made sense for at least 5 years. And it's getting more and more insane. What are the crazy things they want us to think? Let's just hash it out, okay? I might lose a few followers, but let's just hash it out. They want you to think that there are infinite genders and you can change your gender on a whim. Yeah? Can I change my gender mid-menstrual cycle? Like, can I just stop menstruating like for a minute and just be like, oh, I'm a man now. Okay, yeah, that doesn't work. Yeah, that's not what reality is, okay? You can't just change your gender on a whim. Now, there's a whole bureaucratic system that has now been built up over this gender ideology. Keep in mind now people are getting paychecks from it, and so that is what is continuing it. We know about bureaucracy. We haven't actually covered bureaucracy on this channel yet, but bureaucracy is like an organism that seeks to sustain itself. So once you get people getting paid off of this ideology, forget about it. So that's where we are right now. We have a bureaucratic mind system, especially in the university, that is now working to sustain itself. And so it's no longer working for the truth or the public good. And that's where the wokeism is trying to force this particular lie on the public, this obvious untruth. And so the red pilled people are like, oh, isn't this ridiculous? Then you're conservative now. It's like, no, that just happens to be ridiculous. I got called a TERF on my channel for saying that mothers give birth. Okay, so we're just gonna move on. Climate change is another topic that people get red pilled over. So right now, the general consensus among a certain group is that climate change is so serious that it warrants any action. Ends justify the means. Sound familiar? Even if we think of an action to do, how do we know that it's the correct action? How do we know we're not going to make something worse? How do we know that it's going to work? So simply asking these questions like, how do we know that's going to work? What if we do something drastic and it doesn't work? So asking those questions seems to red pill a lot of people. And then they completely do a 180 on their views about everything, including climate change. And then they say, oh, it's not that big a threat. It's not real, which is another thing. It's just like, we knew it was real from jump. We've known it was real since at least the 70s when Exxon did a report. Exxon, red team, remember, do not get caught up in this side or that side, right versus left. Exxon knew it was polluting the earth in the 70s. We've known it's been man-made for 50 years now. Some will say longer. It's just to the extent and what we're gonna do about it. So also don't go along with this crazy apocalypse cult, which we addressed in the Alex Jones video. Now, the last topic that people get red pilled over that I'm going to cover right now, there are so many topics, but this is the last one I'm really going to cover in this video, is the COVID and COVID restrictions. If you ask any questions about the restrictions, if you question the mandate at all, oh, you're a Trump supporter. Oh, you've been red pilled. First off, how is a virus politicized? It is a virus. As far as I know, the virus hasn't given an interview to any of the news outlets because it can't, because it's a virus. This is one of these things that we can look at, and we can look at objectively and say, what is the best solution? But somehow it's becomes politicized and people are continuing to support solutions that do not work because that's what their tribe does. And so if you see this, me, a person who lives in Los Angeles, and because COVID's dangerous, but not stop shopping dangerous. Anyway, if you're here and you have to show your vaccine passport or whatever app they have on your phone, whatever totalitarian new tool that they have come up with to control you, and you question this at all, oh, red pilled. Really? Because it seems to me for all of these, that the red pilled people are trying to take ownership of objective reality. Nobody owns objective reality. Now, we'll all acknowledge woke has gone too far because now they're the party or the ideology in power. But when the red team was the ideology in power, the neocons, they took that stuff too far too. So red team, blue team, both sides are trying to fuck you. So red team, blue team, both sides are trying to swindle you. You are the custody. They need your support, your attention, your money. Now, that having been said, right now we may have to ally ourselves with various people that we wouldn't have allied ourselves with before, simply because we are in a state of emergency and we have to reject what is being pushed on us. And we have to reject it hard, and we have to reject it now. So we have allies. That's where the red pills might be coming in. Don't say you have been red pilled. You just say, I'm allying myself with the conservatives because whatever is forming this cancer in the Democratic Party that's taken over progressives, that's taken over liberalism, that has completely rejected the actual left, the labor people. It has completely rejected the actual left, the progressives, the progressive left, the people who care about labor, the people who care about class. Yo, woke does not care about class. It does not care about labor. It doesn't care about how much you have to spend at the store. So much more right now. It's insane. It doesn't care about your debt. It doesn't care about your kid's future. It doesn't care about how much childcare costs. Okay, it doesn't care. It's a cancer. It's metastasized. And now it's hiding itself like a wolf in sheep's clothing with this this veneer of liberalism. But that's not what it is. What we have is a cancer, and it's an emergency situation. We have to fight it. Red pilled. Come on. This is the hashtag. This is people getting caught up in the algorithm. It's fine. It doesn't bother me at all. But 10 years ago, it was Team Red, the forefathers of the current red-pilled people, Team Red, that was working with corporations and government to get the government to do some heinous illegal stuff that became legal because they changed the laws. So what is the difference? Now we have tech working with the government, and the government's blue, but it's all the same. It's all the same. It's not really questioning corporate interests at all.
Oh, that's sweet.
The Patriot Act, the illegal Iraq War. I mean, come on. How short are our memories where we say, no, I've been red pilled by these people? We have a very short news cycle, so we forget. But I don't forget because somebody wrote it down. I'm going to go read what they wrote down. So I don't forget that Team Red was pretty heinous not so long ago. The red pill is conservative fiction. They name a phenomenon, which is people asking questions, which people are going to do, and then they take ownership of that phenomenon. It's absurd. You need to pay rent and be around people who aren't completely insane. That doesn't mean you've been red pilled. It just means that you have maintained your sanity. And we've discussed this briefly in the last video. We're going to discuss it more next month with behaviorism, but they are trying to remove all of our norms and replace them with their new norms, the new normal. No new normal. And so that's what they're trying to do, but you haven't been red pilled. And if you accept that you've been red pilled, you're falling into another illusion, because that's not going to help you either. I'm sorry, I don't want to be the one to say that. It just happens to be the truth. And we are long past the stage where we can say, oh, it's easy. It's not easy anymore. Maybe it would have been easy if we caught this at the beginning, but we didn't catch it at the beginning. So it's a lot more difficult than just being red pilled. Oh, I took a pill, now everything's okay. That's what Americans think. You can just take a pill, now everything's going to be okay. No, it won't. No, it won't. Like, you need to do a lot more than just take a stupid pill and all of our problems are solved. Like, no.
I do appreciate the irony that the American body politic is like the average American body, unfit and dependent on pills.
The point I really want to drive home is that the red team, the red pills people, do not own objective reality. Objective reality belongs to everybody, and we can interpret it as we see fit as long as it's honest and we are making sense. It doesn't have to be interpreted through a conservative lens. It is objective reality. In fact, it shouldn't be interpreted through any lens whatsoever. It should just be, these are the facts, and this is what we can do about them. It's all strategy. Now, yes, we have to get into some sort of group. We have to ally ourselves with certain peoples and certain other groups to make that happen. But take emotion out of it completely. Take tribalism out of it completely. Because once you get into tribalism, once you get into red pilled, now we are defining ourselves by what we are not. And that's how COVID becomes politicized. That's how a virus turns into politics. What is going on, America? This is the last part I will say about it, because this is a very personal and petty rant I'm about to go on. So it applies to me. It might not apply to you, but I'm just going to say what I have to say is that nobody is going to make me be a conservative. Nobody is going to make me completely change all of my beliefs, change my lifestyle, change whatever to fit along with a political party or an idea or something that is completely reactionary. The red pilling is reactionary. People on the blue team. People on the blue team are like, oh, Maya, you're a conservative because you don't agree with whatever, the turf thing. Oh, you're a conservative now. Like, excuse me. These people grew up with cable television, Tostino's pizza rolls, disposable diapers, and formula. And they're going to try to tell me what I am? Okay, new to blue. You people who have just found a Whole Foods last year and now you think you're progressive. Go somewhere with that. I get you're in the stage where you've just been exposed to alternatives, that you've just been woken up. You're now woke because you are just now seeing that our culture is manipulative. You're just now seeing that our culture is corporate and wants to take stuff from you. You're just now seeing that there's more to life than eating and consuming. You're just now seeing the dangers of a conspicuous consumption. And so you think you own progressivism? And don't come at me for this mother thing. That's how we got here. Mothers gave birth. You took a class, and like we learned with the witch trials, comes from on high. This new ideology comes from on high. And they have to inform us of their new ideology, which they just figured out. If you want to be red-pilled legit, you want to be red-pilled, that's fine. It's a free country, and everyone can do what they want to do. But don't let these posers push you out of the ideology you have been living your whole life. Okay? Hippies, stand your ground. Hippies are like, nah, man, I don't want to. Can't we just be cool? Like, no, right now you can't be cool. This is the time where you can't just be cool. Stand your ground. Be like, no. Don't let them push you out. Don't let them red pill you. Oh, so now you're going to side with the industrialists? Why? Because this person called you a turf? And you don't even have to be in a party. You don't have to be in any party whatsoever. You can say right now, yo, this is weird. I reject it, without joining their club. You're not a hashtag. You're more than a hashtag. You don't have to be programmed by an algorithm, which is stupid. It's stupid. We're not going to talk about academia. We're not going to talk about academia. We're not going to talk about religion. Yes, you can be religious and still be liberal. Yes, you can be religious and still be team blue, progressive, whatever. There are progressive churches as well. Just because you're religious and just because you want to have God in your life, that doesn't mean you've been red-pilled. Also, the liberal arts, just because you want to study the liberal arts honestly, it does not mean you've been red-pilled. In fact, there should be no bias in the liberal arts, although we know that there are. But nevertheless, the liberal arts are actually best when there is no bias whatsoever. So, yeah. Lost progressives. You don't have to be red-pilled. Stand your ground. Maintain your space. You have a right to be there. Wherever you are, you have a right to be there. Much love. Subscribe.